There are 3 lead magnets that have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars in GCI, and they break every rule that you've probably been taught. They are not print. They are not glossy brochures given to you by your brokerage or the local title and escrow rep. And they're not generic PDFs that nobody needs to opt in for because all it takes is a Google search to find them yourself. But the industry just keeps recycling these plain old buyer guide, seller guide that nobody reads because they don't convert. They don't convert prospects into clients. So if you want lead magnets that actually do convert looky-loos into clients, this is the video for you. So here are the guides that I'm talking about. You go to the office, somebody gives you this very slick, beautifully produced physical guide that's, 10 or 20 pages long. And they tell you that anytime you meet a new buyer lead, you should give them one of these. And they're super generic. They're not specific to you. They're not specific to your company unless they were generated by your brokerage. They're just vague, get pre-approved type statements. They're not very helpful because they're the same thing that everyone else hands out to their prospects. If they are given to you by the brokerage, I guarantee it's a whole lot of why our brokerage is amazing and you should use us and one of our agents instead of anyone else in the marketplace. So it's basically just an advertising piece. It's a marketing piece. It's not really designed to be super helpful for a prospect. It's more meant to market us, market ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with marketing yourself. But if that's the goal of this thing, then it's no wonder that it doesn't really convert prospects into paying clients. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 types of lead magnets that have worked exceptionally well for me in my business and the thousands of leads that I've gotten over the years using them. And if you don't want to make any of these from scratch, I'll just leave a link in the description below. I've made 24 of these that are Canva templates. You can just open it in Canva and put your face on it and your name on it, brand it to yourself, download it as a PDF. They're fully written. They're customizable, but they're essentially done. All you got to do is put your picture in there on the last About Me page. So if you just don't want to take the time to make them yourself, they're very affordable. I'll put the link down below. So category 1 is top of funnel. We are looking for the people who are just starting to think about either selling their house or buying a house. They haven't committed to working with anyone in particular yet. They're in research mode. They're going to Google. They're doing Google searches. They're searching on YouTube. They're doing all of those things. So they're not looking for an agent yet. They are just doing research. So we want really information-packed, low commitment type guides for them. They can be specific to your location as well. So some examples might be 10 things to ask a builder before buying new construction. My best performing lead magnet was the Ultimate Savannah Relocation Guide. I have a military buyer relocation guide. What to do 90 days before you list your home. You're trying to reach the people that are still up here at the top of the funnel. They're in research mode, but they haven't committed to a specific agent yet. Now, it cannot be a glorified brochure of you and why you are so amazing. You have to actually have good information in this guide, but you're going to drop in little hints when you say things like 10 questions to ask a builder before you sign on the dotted line with them. You can say things like, I've worked with a lot of buyers over the years who bought new construction, and I was able to save my clients an average of $10,000 because of the things I was able to negotiate on their behalf. But if you don't have an agent that represents you, you've got to do all of that negotiation. So it really behooves you to have your own representation when you go into the model home. So keep that in mind. So you're teaching them something, you're informing them something. You're also putting yourself in the position of authority of, I've done this many, many times, and I've got some really good stats to back it up, but you're not making it like, you should hire me and here is my phone number and let's get on a Zoom call. We're not there yet, right? Don't go for the jugular so soon. That's where a lot of agents lose the lead right at the very beginning because they're pushing for the appointment. They're pushing. And the consumer's like, whoa, back off, Jack. I'm just starting to think about doing this. And I certainly don't want to give you my contact information if you're going to hound the crap out of me. So dial it back a notch, give them something that's very, very helpful. And then, of course, position yourself as the local market authority in this document, but don't make it all about you. Now, I always get this question. Okay, I make the lead magnet, but what do I do with it? You need a website. If you don't have a full-blown website, you just need a way to make landing pages. A landing page is just a single page. It's not necessarily an entire website. It's a page with a form that they're going to fill out. So it says, want my list of 10 questions to ask a builder? Fill out this form, name, email, phone number. You can ask them one or two other questions if you like. You don't have to. You show them a picture of what it is that they're going to get when they opt in. They fill out the form, and then immediately it takes them to a page that says, here's the thing. Go ahead and download it. Or it says, check your email. I'm going to email you the thing. I love it when my husband opens the garage door while I'm filming because my office is directly above the garage. Thanks, hon. Now we want this entire process to be automatic. I'm not doing any of this. Like I set it all up at the very, very beginning, but then when somebody opts in for this thing, I'm not sending them the guide. It's happening automatically. It's going to send them an email. It's going to send them a text message if they put in their phone number. It's going to send them another email. It's going to follow up with them repeatedly over and over and over again. Even if they did not give me a phone number, so I can't call them, it's going to email them over and over and over again, trying to get them to have a conversation with me. So it has to happen automatically. You cannot be the one doing this manually anymore. Come on, it's 2025. Your CRM cannot be an Excel spreadsheet. Get yourself a CRM. Now, how do you drive traffic to that landing page? With free YouTube videos just like this. You make a video saying, are you thinking about buying a new home, but you really want to build a home that will be perfect, exactly what you want, the counters you want, the flooring you want, no bad design choices that you have to go in and spend the first 2 weeks painting the house because somebody was in love with burgundy and painted every room in the house burgundy. You don't have to do any of that when you buy new construction. I have a free resource. I'm going to link to it down below. I love YouTube videos for this reason. You can also do it with Facebook. You can do it with Instagram. You can do it on LinkedIn. You can share those things wherever you want, but YouTube works really well. I'm just saying. Okay, so category number 2 is middle of funnel. And middle of funnel is, okay, we're getting a little more serious. We are still in research mode, but now we're starting to look for an agent in particular. We're starting to really get serious about this whole thing. So things that work for this stage of funnel are ultra specific to their phase of life, their goals, their fears. And so some examples might be the ultimate Tampa relocation guide for 2-person households. I wouldn't say something like for people that don't have kids, like I don't want to violate any fair housing laws. So I was trying to think of how could I say it without saying kids or family. So what if we said a 2-person household? Hopefully that wouldn't get me in any trouble. I've got a cold. My throat feels terrible. Sorry. What to know before selling a home with solar panels. If your home has solar panels and you're thinking about selling, and let's just say that that happens to be in your area of expertise, that would be a great guide that somebody would download because everybody who spent that kind of money on solar panels probably thinks it's going to add a ton of value to the resale price of their house. But is that really true? And do buyers want it? Maybe they do, but I don't know. Maybe there are other things about it that they're not taking into consideration. And you've got a lot that you could share. You could make a guide like that. how to buy and sell at the same time without losing your mind. That would be a great guide for move-up buyers. They have a house to sell. They're going to move up to something bigger, and they're trying to think, should I sell first and then buy, or do I buy first and then sell? They got all the questions, weighing the pros and cons of each. Maybe they can't sell or they can't buy first. Are we going to do it concurrently? They have a ton of questions. That would be a great guide. Plus, when they download it, what does that tell you? They have a house to sell in addition to wanting to buy. So now we know if I can convert that person, it's probably going to be 2 transactions for me. What a great lead to get. So again, how do we drive traffic to this awesome guide? We make YouTube videos about that topic. So maybe you make an entire video about the pros and cons of doing it concurrently. I'm trying to sell this house, but I'm trying to buy the new house, and we're doing it at the exact same time. And I make a YouTube video where I go into some detail, but not all of the detail. And then I say, by the way, I have this awesome document. You should get it. Link below. You can use any social media platform that you like. You could even run paid ads to it if you wanted to. Somebody that bought my 24 guides said that the very first lead he got was from an ad. He was running, I think it was pay-per-click ads, saying, like, if you are doing blah, 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 get my free guide. So he's running cold traffic to these guides. And he has started to get leads, people that he can follow up with. He was a newly licensed agent, if I recall the details correctly. So he just wanted people to talk to. And this was a great way for him to start filling his database with people that have self-identified that I'm in the market to do a transaction, because otherwise, why would I be downloading that guide if it's not relevant to me? So one thing to keep in mind, if cold traffic is your desired method of getting these people, it's going to take a lot more to convert. With cold traffic, you can expect for every 100 people to hit that landing page, you might get 2, 3, 5 people to opt in for your form because they don't know you. There is no like and trust factor established yet. But if you're making YouTube videos and you drive traffic to that page, I have landing pages that are converting at 70%. Almost everybody who goes to the page fills it out and becomes a lead for me. Why? Because they know who I am already. They're not opting in for some stranger stuff. They've been following me. They're watching my videos. They feel comfortable enough to share their contact information with me, and so they do. So just know there's no right way to do it. There's warm traffic and there's cold traffic. Which do you want to do? Just know that if you're doing cold traffic, it's going to take more people going through that funnel to convert. And then the last category is, you guessed it, it is the bottom of the funnel. These are the people that are ready to make a decision. So what kind of call to action, what kind of lead magnet, what kind of resource do you want to make for somebody who's getting ready to make a decision? What about how to interview a listing agent, or something about questions to ask any agent that you're thinking of using to sell your home? We're going to give them ideas of questions they should ask. And of course, your answer to those questions are all going to be fabulous. And so you put all of your competitors to shame, right? We're going to position you so that the question is, how often do you post YouTube videos, for example? And you say twice a week, and all of your competitors will be like, we don't. So if you're all excited and you want to go build one of these lead magnets for yourself, I recommend Canva. They've got great templates, and you should watch this video next where it's how to build lead magnets that get you listings. Watch that video next. I'll show you exactly how you can make your own.